did the projection of solids. What is the use of this section of solids? So in general, whatever the internal parts and internal shapes are going to be, which are not going to be seen directly. So in that condition, we are going to go for this section and we just open it and we are supposed to see what are the internal components or internal shapes. In that case, we are going for the sections of solids. So generally in orthographic projections, so that is, we are going to see the front view, side view and top view. Okay, so these are the three views. So with these three views, the interior and the interior portions or hollow portions are going to be not seen from the orthographic projections. So that is directly from our 2D views. Front view, side view, top view, we are not able to see the whatever the hollow parts or interior components are going to be not to be seen. So in that cases, we are going for the section of the solids and we just make cut that plane. With the help of a section plane, we cut the object and we just remove that half of the part which is going to be in between the observer and the cutting plane, and we just see what are going to be the parts which are going to be visible. So that is nothing but your section of solid. So generally when the interiors of the object is generally in a complex shape so whenever the internal components which are going to be not to be seen also, we are supposed to draw with the help of the dotted lines. So we already see in the projection of solids. Whenever the corner or edge which is not seen, so it should be represented by the dotted line. So if it is a complicated part is going to component is there which are going to get assembled. Okay, if we are supposed to see from the front or side or top, we are not able to imagine the total parts which are going to be. So and if you place multiple number of dotted lines, that means make more confusing down and we didn't understand what the shape of the object is. Okay. So in that cases also the drawing is difficulty. So and almost it is almost impossible to read it clearly. So when you are going to place more number of dotted lines. So in that case, to overcome this difficulty, so generally usually it is going to be the imaginary part of the object is going to be cut by the, okay, the part is going to be completely cut by the section plane. Okay, so by imaginary plane called cutting plane or section plane, and the portion of the object between the section plane and the observer is to be removed and we just see the internal shapes. Okay, so that is nothing but your sections of solids. Similarly, we already know what is meant by sectioning in a very first classes about the conic sections. So we are already aware of the conic sections. So what is meant by conic sections? So conic section means why we are doing sectioning. So when we are supposed to go for the see the internal positions or internal shapes, we go for the section. So we just take a right circular cone. Okay, we just take a right circular cone and we are supposed to cut this right circular cone with a section plane. First of all, it is going to be obtained as a circle. That means when your section plane is going to be the section plane is going to be represented like this, means thick and at the ends or at bends, thick at ends or at bends, and it is going to be dash a dot, dash a dot, dash a dot, dash a dot. Okay, so ends are going to be thick. So we just represent it by VT. Why? Because so when you take a cutting plane, all of you just imagine this cutting plane is not a plane which you are going to be seen. It should be the imaginary plane. Let us consider it is an imaginary plane. You just take a object and you are supposed to make it cut. That means how it is should be. It is perpendicular to axis. This cutting plane is perpendicular to axis and it is supposed to cut this solid in this pattern. Okay, that means it should be like as a cutting plane. It should be like as a plane which is going to be perpendicular to axis and it's supposed to cut throughout the solid. Cut throughout the solid. That means complete solid is going to be get cut throughout. Okay, that means like this. So why it is represented as VT, sir? So whenever you are going to be see from the front, this cutting plane is going to be represented as a line. Okay. So this is going to be projected on the vertical plane. Front view projection will be obtained on vertical plane. So we just call it as a vertical trace. So whenever your cutting plane is perpendicular to vertical plane, it should be represented by the vertical trace VT. If your cutting plane is perpendicular to horizontal plane, so the top is going to be seen as a line and it is projected on horizontal plane. So I just represent it as horizontal trace. Okay. So let us see in this section, how can we obtain the shape of a circle? So observer is going to be at here. Always you just have to remove the portion between the observer and the cutting planes. That means, so here is the observer, here is the cutting plane. So this portion is to be removed, portion between observer and cutting plane. Then you are supposed to see the base shape of a circle. Why? Because the base is of a circle. When your cutting plane is parallel to base and is perpendicular to axis, so then you obtain your shape as a circle. Okay. So this is nothing but this is called, we call it as hatching. So this was represented by 45 degrees incline and equispaced. So this shows that this solid is going to be undergone for section. So for that only it should be represented like this. Okay. So this was the general section of a solid. Okay, you just take a cutting plane and you just cut the throughout the solid and you just remove the portion between the observer and cutting plane and you just see what was going to be the visible shape. Okay. Okay. So first of all, let us write the definition. What is mean by sectioning? First of all, what is mean by sectioning? Always just write the definition for sectioning. The imaginary process of cutting or sectioning object is called sectioning. So next one is, what is sectional view? Sectional view, write the definition for sectional view. The projection of section, the projection of section of an object, the projection of section of an object with its remaining portion is called sectional view. The sectional view are going to be again divided into two parts. So two names, those are nothing but your sectional top view and sectional front view. Okay. So when the projection is made on HP, it is named as sectional top view. Okay. And vice versa. So that means when the projection is made on VP, okay, it is called sectional front view. Next one is, what is mean by this sectional plane? Section plane or sectional plane? Okay, let us take it as section plane. What is mean by this section plane? So section plane or cutting plane is an imaginary cutting plane or section plane. It is an imaginary plane it is an imaginary plane used to cut the solid used used to cut the solid so that by removing a portion of solid, the shape of the cut surface as well as hidden details are exposed. Hidden details are exposed. These section planes are assumed thin, thin, transparent, comma, perpendicular to one reference plane and parallel to other. And parallel to other or inclined inclined to other reference plane. So and you already know that the section plane is going to be represented by long dashed, thick, okay. So this was the representation of the section plane. So long dashed at ends which are thick and thin line and a dot, thin line and a dot, okay. And whenever it is going to be change of direction also, or when it is going to be having any also, this section plane is going to be wherever the change of direction is taking place, it will be represented by thick line, okay. So this was the general theory of the points. You just go through the textbook also, you will have the plenty of theory. So I just for solving the problems, you just have to know what is in the sectioning, what is sectional view, and what is section plane. Further on, I just give the definitions and how the cutting plane is going to be represented. I just given here. So remaining the theory, you just go through the textbook, whatever elaborately. So the main concept is the section of solids is going to be used whenever the internal portions are going to be seen, so which is not possible directly from the orthographic projections. We just go for the section of solids and we make through the cut throughout the section, throughout the solid is going to be cut by the section plane and it is get removed and we see the internal shapes or internal parts. Okay, can I erase this? Can I erase this? Shall we move to the problem? Oh. ఎవరు